Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Wofi. So if this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you stay with us. And if this is your second, third, fourth time, if you're a veteran, thank you for continuously coming back. I appreciate your support. As always, I'm excited. You guys know I'm always excited to do this. Today's a bit of a different video that we're doing. I feel like whenever a year is coming to an end, people kind of take stock of their lives. They take stock of, what do I want to do more of? What do I want to do less of? Like, what are my goals for the new year? And I myself, I'm not someone that makes like New Year resolutions every year. Every New Year. I don't do that just because, I don't know, I've just never done it. But this year is a little different. I think that because I'm older and because I'm getting to a place in my life where I could possibly bring kids into the world, I'm feeling this need to be an active participant in my life, to be active and to be very intentional about the things that I want to work on and the things that I want to achieve. Now, obviously, I'm not going to share all of like my, plans, but there are three themes of things that I thought, I could talk about with you guys, and also to kind of hold myself accountable a little bit. If I say it on YouTube, I definitely have to do it, because do I want to be the person that says it on YouTube and then 2 seconds later is doing the same thing? No, I'm not a hypocrite. So I figured I'd put it out there. So I'm like being selfish right now. I'm recording myself talking about like my plans and my goals or whatnot. Not really goals or plans, but things I want to do. And putting it on the internet to make myself accountable, because how else could you possibly make yourself accountable if you don't put it on the internet, yeah, so that's what we're doing today. So that's the goal of this video. Yeah, like my three things are things about myself that I want to kind of work on in the new year, as opposed to like outwardly, I want $1 million, or like, I want to travel more. Not those types of things. It's more like personal things about myself that I want to work on, and I wanted to share it with you guys. We're gonna go through the bad first, so we're gonna do things that I want to stop first. So obviously, just because it's a new year and that year is gone, I kind of just want to talk about the bad, negative stuff and just kind of let it go with the past 2020. So the first one is judgmentalness. Now, I don't consider myself a judgmental person, I should say. I don't want to be absolute in any of these things, because, I don't know, I'm human. In fact, I'm like on the other end, to where like I would entertain almost anything. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for me. But I understand that that's for me. And it works for some people. So I think that I'm pretty good at not being judgmental in that sense. However, when I say judgmental in this context, I'm talking about my biases. While I am not technically a judgmental person, I was raised by humans within constraints of a society. So that means that certain thoughts and certain things kind of sit through my mind the way I think. It means that the context through which I view the world is my context. It's a little skewed to my experiences. So by not being judgmental, I'm talking about not letting my biases that have come from my upbringing or from like my life experiences kind of cloud my judgment towards people, towards other people. Recognizing that my thoughts are my thoughts. My thoughts aren't reality. I struggle with that because I consider myself like, I truly believe in my convictions. if the world is going right and I think they should be going left, it doesn't matter to me what the world is doing. I've never been one to worry so much about, oh, like what's that person doing or what's that person gonna say. I'm not shackled with the expectations of society. I've never been, but I am extremely I'm in tune with my thoughts and I stick to my thoughts. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because my thoughts aren't always right. But from my point of view, that's what I have to work with. Again, my first thing is to not be so judgmental, and not judgmental as in judging people, more like not let my always recognizing that my implicit bias, my thoughts aren't always true. They're just my thoughts. They're not facts all the time. They're just thoughts. So yeah, that's the first one. The second one, and now we're getting heavy. The second one is not make so many excuses. Boy, this one, honestly, we're in therapy. We're either in therapy or in church, whatever you believe in. This is that for you. I'm a self-proclaimed, I would say this, I'm a self-proclaimed excuse giver. Like literally, if you give me a chance to wiggle out of a situation with excuse, best believe I'm a snake you on that shit. I will wiggle myself out of any situation with an excuse. Okay, I would give myself the best excuses. So for me, this year I want to get better at being realistic with myself. Okay, the theme for a lot of the points that I'm talking about is just being honest with myself, being excruciatingly honest with myself and holding myself to the fire. So not giving so many excuses. If you've said you're gonna work out, if you've said you're gonna, and this is an example, get up and work out. Don't make excuses. Oh, like you woke up late. Well, you should have gone to bed early last night. And I don't do that sometimes. So yeah, not forcing myself. I read somewhere, the more you say you're gonna do something and not do it, you're telling your brain that it's okay to like default on yourself, right? So it's kind of like building a muscle. If you continue to flex that muscle, so if you continue to flex the muscle of giving excuses, then your brain gets used to that, right? So the next time you give yourself an excuse out of not doing something, your brain takes that and it's like, okay, so it's okay. Next time I can do it because last time I did it. So it becomes like a build up pattern. It becomes something that becomes part of you. And I think I've gotten to that point where it's so part of me now that like I'd make excuses and not even think about it. I'm trying to rewire my brain to know that excuses don't fly around here. When we say we're gonna do something, brain, what do? Tell me. We do it because why? Just do it. Life is for the living. Life is for the taking. Why? No. So we're dead in that. We're done with that in 2021. 2021 is the year of rebirth. So the next thing that I want to leave in 2020 is honesty. Now I know you're like, wait, what? Honesty? Yeah, I know. Hear me out. When I say honesty in this context, I'm talking about like my bluntness. So when I say I want to leave honesty in 2020, I'm talking about I want to leave honesty that isn't filtered. I want to leave honesty that isn't tactful, that's tactless, that doesn't particularly think about the person that I'm giving the honesty to. So while honest, sometimes, I mean, it's a good thing to, honesty is a good virtue, but it's also good to be aware of like what your honesty might mean to other people. Yeah. So those are my 3 things that I want to leave in 2020. Let's go over them again. So I said judgmental, like I want to be less judgmental. We're leaving excuses in 2020. We're not trying to hear the voice of negativity. We're not trying to hear the voice of, oh, but only if you got 10 more minutes of sleep. No, we don't want that. You don't need sleep. You don't need sleep. Sleep is a construct. And we're living honesty, tactless honesty in 2020. So yeah, those are 2020 behaviors. Now for the positive things, the heartwarming things. These are the things that we're gonna focus on. These are the things that are gonna build us into better people. These are the things that are gonna build me into a better person. The first thing, conversely, I say honesty. So here is the thing about honesty. We tell ourselves stories, right? Stories that come from our experiences, stories that come from our parents, stories that come from our friends, and we believe our stories, right? It's not a bad thing, it's just that's how we function. So what that means is your personality or the way you relate to the world comes from your stories. And mind you, your stories could be false, right? So for me, when I say honesty, I mean honesty in that I want to be honest to myself. Okay, growing up, I used to say I was shy. In school, I'd be like, oh, the shy kid. And it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago, maybe a few years ago. Yeah, so very recently did I say to myself, you're not shy, you're selectively available. If I meet someone, I could be the bubbliest person you've ever met. So it's like I could share, I'm not someone that holds back with my stories. Like I could connect with anyone, but I have to be interested to connect with them. So what I told myself was, oh, I'm shy. When in reality, no, I was just being selective because of a few things. I didn't want to get hurt and I did not want to feel like an outcast. What if you put yourself out there and you're open with someone and they're not open back? That was what I was avoiding. So it wasn't that I was shy, it was that I just wasn't in situations where I felt like I could or I wanted to connect to people. So I told myself, I had this conversation with myself a couple years back, and now it's like I could be in a room and I'm okay with not engaging with anyone, but it's my decision. It's not because I don't go in thinking, oh, it's because I'm shy. No, I say I'm shy all the time, but it's a joke. Like I know that I'm not shy, but I'm also okay to share. I'm very open, so I would share my entire life with you, and I want to hear yours back. Not because I want to do anything with it, but just because it's like, listen, we're travelers on this planet, so we might as well connect. And that's what it is. So it's like honesty in that sense is like understanding why you've told yourself certain stories and either breaking from it or owning it, wearing it. So now when I say I'm shy, I say it as a joke as opposed to, oh, I'm shy, so I can't connect with people. No, that's not the case. Sometimes I don't want to put myself out there because I've read a room and I don't think it's in my benefit to put myself out there. Or sometimes people's spirits are just off and you really don't want to share your life with them. What is a story that you've always told yourself but isn't actually true? And can you start writing another story for yourself? Yeah, so honesty, but honesty to myself about the stories that I've told myself that maybe aren't always true, but somehow, some way, they kind of frame how I show up in the world or how I relate to other people. The second point is be more active. And when I say active, I mean it in every single sense of the word. Being physically active, professionally active, emotionally active. So the reason why this became a point for me is I will excuse myself out of working out. I will excuse myself out of taking that extra certification. I will excuse myself out of, reaching out to people, talking to people. And I literally had to say to myself the other day, you have to be the friend that you want people to be to you. You have to get up and check up on people. You can't just have text messages sitting in your phone and, you and your phone are playing hide and go seek. Nah, sis, get up, check your phone, call on people, check up on people, and do all of that. Also exercise, because that also means that you don't have the excuse of saying, oh, I don't want to pick up my phone. If you're in bed all day and you're inactive, your brain is also inactive. A body in motion stays in motion. Listen, this is church, therapy, And now, is that chemistry or physics? I think it might be physics. And now physics class, pay me your tuition, okay? Pay me your tuition because I'm a whole college over here. The last thing that I wanted to focus on is reciprocity. I could say that word. I always struggle with saying reciprocity. I don't know why. I think it's just the C. I don't know. Something about it throws me off. But anywho, so I want to meet people where they meet me. I can bucket you very quickly in my life. I have a few buckets. I have a bucket of I love you. I have a bucket of I don't like you. And then I have a bucket of I don't know, but there's potential for you. And those are the three things. So the I don't like you bucket, I'm pretty good at not giving energy to people that I don't like. I'm good at the I don't like you bucket because that takes the least amount of work. It's easy for me to just pay you dust. That doesn't take any type of work for me at all. And also, like, I'm a Cancer, so I'm petty as shit. And the problem though with my reciprocity comes with my I love you bucket. Because once I love someone, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as we can talk about it, we'll get over it. Like, I already love you, and that's eternal, right? Because I know that no matter what, you always have a place in my heart. I might not talk to you for 3 years. You call me today and say, hey, I need you to be here. Guess what? Where are my boots? Where are my pants? What do I need? I'm there. I don't need to talk to people that I love. But that's a crazy, crazy, lazy way of thinking about it. Because it's like, okay, you love someone, but part of love is actively letting them know that you love them. It's like if my partner, and I think about my relationships with like my friends in the same limit as the one with my partner, I have a tendency to say, but you know that I love you. But in reality, if my partner told me, oh, you know I love you, but I don't have to do any work, that's crazy. So if I demand better from the person that I'm with, I need to demand better for myself to other people. So I need to do better at letting my I love you basket know that I truly love them, making sure that they know that I'm there for them, making sure that I'm not only do they know, making sure that I'm actually there for them. And that's the part that's like important to me. And then for the I'm not sure about you, but there's potential, knowing exactly where I stand. In order to know that, I have to actually be active. See, all of these things tied together, be active in my relationship with them. So yeah, I need to reciprocate people that love me. I need to reciprocate back to them by being an active participant in my life and in their lives as well. So those are my 3 things. Before I close out this video, I also wanted to say, just so you know, your New Year's resolution does not have to actually be in the beginning of January. You could decide in the 3rd week of February, you could decide to be a different person, and you could decide starting March 15th, I want to change my life. The life that you deserve is not tied to a date. I feel like we forget that sometimes. For those of us that haven't made our New Year resolutions yet, we got time, and it's still the 1st week of January. So you've got this, and let me serve as your reminder that you can do it, sis. You got it, sis. You've got it. Those are some of the things that I want to stop with 2020 and the things that I want to start with 2021. I hope that you've learned a thing or two from this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Share your thoughts with me. Also share this video with people, because I feel like people need to hear this. People need to hear what I have to say. My voice is that important, okay? My voice is that important. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, so that way I know that you like what I'm doing and that you want me to continue. And it also makes me feel good, okay? I can't lie. For our newbies, I hope you guys come back. For the veterans, we're already stuck. We're already family, so thank you. I hope to catch you in the next one.